Welcome back to This Week in Big Sky Football. I'm Megan Robinson. Montana State Assistant Head Coach Jody Owens and Northern Arizona Head Coach Brian Wright go way back. Wright was the OC for Montana State when Owens was on the Bobcats roster. Years later, Owens would be on Wright's staff at Pittsburg State. This year, they go head to head. How's it going to feel? Let's ask Owens. Jody, 3 straight wins for the Bobcats. The defense has allowed only a total of 10 points combined in those 3 games. What's been working for you guys defensively?
More than anything, I would have to give our players the credit. Those guys have done an excellent job as far as preparing week in and week out. I think as we are continuing to bring along a younger group, they're understanding, how important practice is and how important the meeting room and being able to apply what you learn in the meeting room and what you're seeing to be able to execute down in and down out. So I think it's a product of those guys' preparation, and I think us as coaches, we're doing a good job of trying to put the guys in the best position possible. So I think it all works hand in hand, but I would have to tip my cap to our players in the way they're preparing.
You were consensus All-American and Big Sky Defensive MVP back in 2012. How does your experience, not just as a college football player, but as a former Bobcat player, help you as a coach?
Well, as a player, I have experiences of playing pretty much everywhere in the Big Sky. So I just try to give my guys insight on what to expect, what to think. And then, as a player, just be able to key these guys into different things that I will look at to help me play fast. My biggest thing as a coach is how can I get my guys to play fast and play physical and not react to things and just see it and go. I think just as a result, those guys are starting to understand it day in and day out, and I'm excited for it. And hopefully, I can coach some future All-Americans and future conference MVPs.
When you were on that Bobcat roster, Brian Wright, NAU's head coach, was the offensive coordinator. You then went and joined his staff when he was the head coach of Pittsburg State. You head to Flagstaff to face Coach Wright this week. How do you think you'll feel facing your former head coach?
More than anything, I'm thankful for, Coach Wright and his mentorship that he's had over me throughout, my career. And it really dates back to as a player here at Montana State. Coach Wright was one of the coaches that I leaned on and I clinched to in terms of being able to help me grow, not only as a football player, but as a man. And being able to work with him at Pittsburg State, learned a lot about what it takes to be an awesome coach. So it'll be a full circle moment to be able to share the field with him. And I know that those guys will be ready to rock and roll.
What was the biggest lesson you learned from working under Coach Wright at Pittsburg State?
Coach Wright is a great motivator. I mean, those guys will be ready to play. I think the other thing, he is great at just allowing guys or helping guys reach their full potential. I think he kind of helped me in my development as a coach to be able to get my position group to play at their best. When you're around a guy that is as smart as Coach Wright and, has a clear vision for his program, I think the culture will speak for itself. And that's why, NAU in their first year, within his first year as a head coach, they're able to make it to the playoffs. So I can see those guys continuing to grow in their development as a program because they have a great leader, and it all starts with that.
NAU is averaging 34.2 points per game. Ty Pennington is the second leading passer in the Big Sky. How do you contain that high-power offense?
It just comes down to doing your job more than anything else. You don't have to do something that you're not. Just everybody be playing 111th football, and when you do that, you should give yourself a good opportunity to win at the end of the day. I think Ty Pennington is a really good player. We recruited him at Pittsburg State, and so is Kobe Cassis, their receiver. So those guys have been in big-time games. They know what it feels like. They got good experience. So we just have to do our job at the end of the day, and I think that'll be enough for us to be successful.
The Lumberjacks are riding a 9-game win streak at home. It dates back to 2023. You've played in the walk-up Sky Dome. Everyone talks about the atmosphere. Everyone talks about the elevation. What advice do you have for your guys as someone who has competed on that field?
We talk to our guys a lot about just being in the moment. So we will be the away team, of course, NAU looking from their perspective. They will be a lot more comfortable just because they have a routine and all of that. But I think it's important just to be in the moment, and really do a good job of visualizing just being in the dome and the different things that, can come up. And when you visualize all the different situations of what can occur, you've been there before. Your mind doesn't know the difference. So we talk a lot about visualizing and seeing it. And I put those guys through different exercises as well to make sure that they're ready to go so that they can ultimately play fast, regardless if we're at home or if we're away, and try to take out the outside factors. It's about us.
Trajan Sinatra has been clutch for Idaho State. Hear from the special teams player of the week next.